we're in a very target-rich environment for talent, one that certainly is getting interest on a global perspective for people looking to come back into the U.S. with their projects and programs, not just for the U.S. market, but now on a global basis. The Ascendia difference is really one that's backed by our expertise of our 4 nanotechnology platforms. These 4 platforms can improve our bioavailability, solubility, and stability, where we can get started on a project in as little as 2 to 4 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Versus months.
Hi, and welcome to Expert Insights with Drug Development and Delivery, the show where we dive deep into the world of pharmaceutical innovation, drug development, and the leaders shaping our future of healthcare. Today, we're talking with Robert Blotter, Chief Business Officer at Ascendia Pharmaceutical Solutions. Robert is a true industry veteran. He's got decades of launch success with blockbusters at Pfizer, such as Lipitor and Neurontin, where his New England district actually led the nation for several years. He then was co-founder of the specialty pharmaceutical company ESP Pharma, which was later sold to Protein Design Labs. He was instrumental in the advancement of global business at Apotex as well. Now at Ascendia, he's working with biopharmaceutical companies, turning their challenging formulations into reality, using nanotechnologies to enhance bioavailability and accelerate drugs from concept to clinic. So, Bob, welcome and thank you. So why don't you start off by letting us know what you think are the evolving roles of CDMOs in today's pharma landscape?
Thanks, Amy. Today, given the geopolitical situation and our residing in the U.S., specifically in New Jersey, nestled in between Princeton and Rutgers, we're in a very target-rich environment for talent. And it seems one that, from a geopolitical situation, as I alluded to earlier, one that certainly is getting interest on a global perspective for people looking to come back into the U.S. with their projects and programs, not just for the U.S. market, as might have been some time ago, but now on a global basis.
Okay, great. So, there's so many CDMOs that are out there, and, there's a big difference in Ascendia. Can you tell us what those differences are?
The Ascendia difference is really one that's backed by our expertise of our 4 nanotechnology platforms: Amersol, Emulsol, Nanosol, and Lipidsol. These 4 platforms can improve our bioavailability, solubility, and stability of our clients' formulations. And they do this using all GRAS materials, generally regarded as safe, which is important because in our business, time is money. And when you use generally regarded as safe materials, you're able to more quickly and efficiently get through the regulatory bodies with their programs, needing to get into the clinic and for approval.
So you just mentioned something that I think is really important. Time is money. And especially in drug development and delivery, time to market is a very big deal. So how is it that you guys do that? What is it that sets you apart as far as your time to get from one step to the next?
This is critical, especially in today's environment. One, we are powered and at our growth cycle where we can get started on a project in as little as 2 to 4 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Versus months, years for some companies, given where they're at. In addition, we've picked up the mantra of fast, flexible, and first time right, which is important for us to get going. With these 2 combinations about people and process, getting to projects quickly, we think this is really part of the Ascendia difference that makes a big difference in the bottom line for many of our clients.
One of the things is that, Ascendia has been incredibly successful. And, they are definitely a top growth company. And what would you say if you were talking to someone, what do you attribute that success to? Because you have had so much growth and so much success in your space.
And thanks for that, Amy. Appreciate the recognition. And the simple answer is our people. It's one thing, can the company do the work? Will they do the work? But at the end of the day, it's the people. And when companies put their trust and faith in us with their most important projects, it's the people who make the difference. These are long-term projects. And you're talking about when unplanned results occur, how do you admire that Socratic process with your client sponsor who brings a wealth of knowledge to the program, in addition to the experience with our talented team? That's where we can get to the bottom of it and where we really earn our reputation for making the impossible possible. And this is where I think we're going to wind up going in the future as solution providers.
Yeah, you mentioned the internal culture, definitely. So, and I think that the team that you have is essential. That's so important. And so what is the culture of Ascendia as far as the service that you deliver? Can you talk a little bit about that?
It's not cliche, but we like to say, as our founder and CEO, Jim Wong, had put forth, our culture strives to be the best. Brilliant technology, excellent service, superior quality, and ultimately trust. And that's something we look to earn every day with our clients now and in the future.
I love that. I love that. So tell me, just in closing, before probably last question I've got for you, because I feel like you've covered a lot, is if you were looking for a CDMO, if you were on the opposite end and you were looking for a CDMO, what should people be looking for? What would you impart on somebody who's looking to look for a really great partner?
Well, I would simply say call or contact Ascendia today to experience the Ascendia difference. From aseptic, long-acting injectables, lipid nanoparticles, lyo, to our oral solid dosage forms, ocular spray drying, in as little as 2 to 4 weeks. From pre-formulation development, clinical trial material, and now we're moving into commercial. This is what I'd recommend. If not, they can call my number personally if they'd like.
Excellent. So if somebody were looking to get in touch with you, what is the best way to do that?
You can go ahead and simply go onto our website, or you can call me directly at 954-445-1362. We make it personal here at Ascendia.
I love that. That's great. So listen, thank you so much for being on Expert Insights. You're definitely an expert and you guys are doing great things. So we really appreciate having you and we'll talk to you hopefully again soon.
Thanks, Amy. It's always a pleasure to be a part of you and the team at DD&D.
Excellent. Thanks so much.